My name is Kalinda Chantel Simmons, and this is my family. They are my backbone and support system. I grew up on the country dirt roads of Lizella, Georgia, attended public schooling, and then attended and graduated with an undergraduate from Mercy University in Business and Human Resources. Growing up as the only child in a single-parent home, my imagination was vivid, along with my aspirations to be more like my mother. My father has always supported me and my goals, starting with enlisting in the service when I was born. So I grew and watched my mom grow, obtaining her bachelor's, then master's, and ultimately a PhD. I grew up in the transformation of her accomplishments changing our lives, and now being able to help and develop others. My mother's dedication to everything she was involved in instilled the importance of being committed to your end goal. Her obligation to be educated, to educate others, and give us the best life gave me a sense of direction. And most influentially, her passion to push and encourage others defined my purpose and passion of mentoring and educating minorities and first-time generation college students. I believe that education and character start at home first. As the eldest of 9 first cousins, I did not realize the impact I had until I completed college and the third eldest followed behind me. I knew then that all it took was someone to provide a foundation and a sense of direction, commitment, encouragement, to provide a non-judgment zone, sometimes just a listening ear. In 2014, I decided to act on my passion to mentor. I joined AVID, Mentors Project of Macon, Georgia, and Streets to Success. These organizations all had similar missions. They are dedicated to the development, growth, and college readiness for minorities and first-generation college students. When I mentor, I do not exclude the mistakes I've made along my journey. I answer all questions with no filter. It is imperative to demonstrate to our younger generations that it does not take perfection to be successful. I learned the most when I changed my perspective, became more authentic, and earned my definition of success. Success to me is defining what gives you purpose. For example, I am successful in this organization because... What purpose did you define is the question that I leave with others. I realized that I did not fail on the pre-professional path that I originally chose in undergrad, but instead, I was redirected towards my passion. My failure defined my passion and gave me a purpose for where I am today. Going into undergrad, I was influenced by my mother's success, status, lifestyle, and educational endeavors. Her and her friends were all doctors, congressmen, lawyers, and dentists who had big houses, families, and nice cars. I wanted that lifestyle. Following their steps, I chose pre-dentistry and failed the course. The internship, the scrubs, the bragging rights were all nice, but I did not have the passion to endure what it really took. Going into my sophomore year, with my major still undecided, my business class was presented to by Dr. Keith Moffitt. He educated us on finding our sweet spot and encouraged us to make a timeline. We learned that the sweet spot is an overlap of what we like to do and what we are good at. The message and the Venn diagram defined my purpose and stuck with me over the years. I even share the concept when I mentor, to encourage others to focus on what they're good at and pursue goals in the direction of what they like to do. Our timelines consisted of dividing our lifespans into quarters and writing down what we hope to accomplish by the end of each quarter. 25, 50, 75, and hypothetically 100 years of age. The timeline gives a concept of how short but precious each moment in life is, and that you cannot take a day nor year for granted. I knew I was great at leading and mentoring others, being organized, and succeeding objectives. I had been working at Subway since 10th grade and promoted to store manager by the time I was a sophomore in college. It seemed fitting to go into business and figure out the rest later. With an operational end goal, I interviewed and was hired at Chick-fil-A, known for their great leadership programs, competitive pay, scholarships, and upward mobility opportunities. I began working, and as a senior in undergrad, I was promoted to drive-thru manager while also completing a management internship at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Again, I was determined to follow the steps necessary to get a job after graduating, but this time I was enjoying it. Hence, my upward mobility resulting in my success on the job. After graduating undergrad, my plan worked as I was hired at Coliseum as their human resources coordinator. I was ecstatic to be one of the youngest in the hospital, to have a real job in my field with benefits, and to know my salary was competitive with most adults. Though I thought this to be the beginning of my best life, my mother encouraged that I focus on my education and not working full-time. I was so overwhelmed with the pressures of deciding and making the wrong decision that I enrolled in a master's program before I was ready. Little did I know, it was the beginning of me being shut down and redirected towards my true passion again. 6 months on the job and in school for my master's, I began to fail. I was constantly late to work, behind on school assignments, and making poor decisions due to stress. Ultimately, in January 2018, I was suspended from my master's program and still not performing well on the job. I was in a very dark space now, coming from Miss Junior and honor roll in high school, then continuing to do well in college, and having exceptional performances on each job. Suddenly, I could not focus on my dreams because I needed to survive now. I found myself too tired and broken to make sense of it all. The next 3 months, I prayed reluctantly. I applied for part-time jobs. I even considered going back to Chick-fil-A. It was not easy. All I had was this job that was now on thin ice because of my performance. I knew that all of the advice, no matter from who, would not help, and that it was up to me to make things right. I reached out to my program advisor, who was more than happy to get me back on track to reapply. I interviewed with the Dean of Students and was thankfully accepted back into the program to begin in the spring semester. Being readmitted into the master's program, I knew I could not make the same mistakes as last time. I needed to choose between school and full-time work if I wanted to be successful. I leaned on my faith and quit my full-time job before finding a new one. I was determined to do well in this program and give it my all this time. Each night, I thought and prayed hard about this person I wanted to be. I stayed up late, researching, reading, and applying to different jobs to fit this person who I am determined to become. 2 weeks after quitting my full-time job, I saw a requisition for a part-time human resource associate position at Goodwill of Macon, Georgia. In this moment, I applied for the position with tears running down my face. I thought, what if I had closed my laptop after that last application? I knew it was nothing but God allowing me to be in this moment. I interviewed and received the job within the next month. It still feels as if following my passion and defining my sweet spot changed my life and my purpose. I have been in my current position for 8 months, earning several recognitions for my accomplishments. I now cannot imagine being in a dental office nor hospital for 8 hours every day. I knew I had so much more to offer, but could not succeed in the wrong place. While performing in my capacity, I am also completing my master's and networking and making better grades than I ever have. In May 2020, I will graduate with a master's in organizational leadership and development. For the first time in my collegiate career, I am excited about seeing the dean's list, knowing that I will be on it. It excites me to reflect and see my growth. I enjoy the responsibility of being persistent in accomplishing my goals. My entire mindset has evolved now that I feel confident and believe in myself. I can flourish in my company by networking with my colleagues and exceeding on projects that I am a part of. I have never felt so in place for the right reasons. My current company has God in their mission, and it shows during day-to-day operations. As a strong believer, this further confirms that I am where I should be. When I mentor other students, I want them to see the tears in my eyes. But I also give them my phone number to keep up and show how those tears water each of our success stories. I want to be the conscious, the friend, the mentor that other students may not have been fortunate to have or accessible to. I will continue to encourage others that it is okay to be redirected, and most importantly, be grounded in your faith when you are changing directions. I demonstrate that you must believe in yourself and what it is that you are trying to do. Programs like Sallie Mae's Bridging the Dream Scholarship for graduate students enable students like myself to reflect and have a success story, and then encourage others to do the same. As a Sallie Mae's Bridging the Dream recipient, I plan to donate to the organizations that define my purpose: the Mentors Project of Macon, Georgia, and Streets to Success. If rewarded, I will donate the money into 3 areas. $5,000 will be used to fund for the food and other needs provided for free by the organizations to their members. $5,000 will be invested into the scholarship fund that I hope to finalize this year. The scholarship is for any high school seniors who are applying for college. Like Sallie Mae's Bridging the Dream Scholarship for graduate students, candidates will be judged on their creativity expressing their goals and experiences. The remainder of the scholarship funds will help pay off my student debt and to award my first scholarship recipient. With Sallie Mae's Bridging the Dream Scholarship for graduate students, I hope to redirect and touch others in a way that encourages them to reach back into our community who needs it the most. In closing, I would like to dedicate my success and determination to my late great-grandmothers, Hattie Mae Jackson and Geneva Murphy, who would have been so proud to see me today. Thank you.